Welcome everyone, episode 1 of the Joshy B podcast. Here's how we're going to run it. First, super local news, West Lothian based news. Second, Scottish wide news. Third, global stuff. What's on the agenda today? In West Lothian news, we have cars being nicked recently, a spree of cars being stolen, and the Craigshill Polish shop is unfortunately being sold. In Scottish wide news, we have the BAFTA moment, where filmmaker and Tourette's activist John Davidson has been, basically he yelled the N-word at the BAFTAs during a speech by a black person, and it blew up all over the internet. Obviously, it was a Tourette's tick, right? But so it shouldn't really be news, but it is anyway, and I'll talk about it. And then also the Emma Cassidy situation. I'll talk about that too. Then we have global news. We're going to talk about the Winter Olympics. Maybe a little bit of the Epstein list if we get the chance. So thank you for joining us. Let's see how this episode does. If this one does good, I'll keep doing it. And if it flops, it flops. It is what it is. So, okay, I just got the news article up here. Also, Adam was supposed to be on the first episode, but he's too busy right now, unfortunately. So, just got to deal with me, okay? Right, STV News. Investigation launched after spree of car thefts. So, basically, between February 6th and February 17th, there's been like 4 different vehicles stolen in West Lothian. Likely from the same group of people. Very suspicious. I will say anyone who's been living in West Lothian now, they know it's basically like playing Grand Theft Auto. If you play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, you know, after you finish the first saga and then you get basically moved into the sticks. You get moved into like rural California, and you got to do a bunch of missions there. You're like stealing tractors and stuff, and disintegrating smoke farms. That's basically what it's like living in West Lothian these days. It's there are no, like, the police don't seem to do anything. I'm sure it's not their fault. It's that they're underfunded and all that jazz. And I don't even know how I feel about the police, to be honest. But anyway, basically, when I'm there, I just act as if, like, look, there are no police, you know, it's a free-for-all, it's every man for themselves. And, you know, I guess just security guys, you know, just invest in your security. You know, what's a £5 AirTag or a, you know, £100 camera or ring light or whatever security there is if it stops something getting stolen? Who am I to talk? My bike's been nicked. Though that was locked up. I did have a chain on that bike. It still got nicked. I mean, I was thinking about getting an e-bike in the summer. And someone told me, they're like, don't bother because it'll probably just get stolen. Like, they said that their friend, it was actually Alan from the Livingston Boxing Club. He was telling me someone he knew, they chained up their e-bike at the Livy Centre. And it got, you know, with like a proper bolt-on thing, and someone just like chainsawed it away, took it or something. I mean, what can you do? You know, it's the world that we're living in now. And, you know, as long as they don't get punished, what's going to happen, you know? Truthfully, we probably do need harsher punishments for these criminals, you know? And in Japan, I saw this British woman, she got caught trying to order ket into the country. They just put her in jail for like 5 months. It sounded horrible as well. But no, that's why there's barely any substance abusers here. Obviously, I'm in Japan right now, but yeah, because like the laws are super strict, so like they don't bother, you know. They just bev and smoke cigs. Okay, part 2 now. I just saw this on Facebook, on the West Lothian News Facebook page, which is overall decent. Some of the articles are just, you can tell they're just paid for rubbish though. But anyway, the Craigshill Polish shop, which is situated inside the mall of Craigshill. Actually, I think there's 2 of them. I'm not sure which one it is. One of them is being sold now. And it is a shame. And sadly, it seems that the Craigshill Mall will eventually be no more. It's slowly been disintegrating over the years and years. I actually had a discussion with TJ of House 54, and he told me he predicted that the Craigshill Mall will be like done in like 2 years or something. Like the people running from the shops switch over hands so many times there if anyone's been down there. And yeah, retail, the high street is struggling. I think there's still there's still there's like a dog shop in there for dog treats. That seems to be doing all right. There's a new vape shop in there. I do know that. There's a big vape shop. Not sure what's going on. I thought about popping in one point when I'm down there, because me, I'm boots on the ground when I'm back home. I talk to a lot of these business owners, but I always talked to the vape guy about maybe doing a promo, but I thought, do I really need to be promoting vapes when I have, some of my audience is quite young? I thought, nah, I'll leave it. So anyway, yeah, I mean, what is there to say? Like, I do believe, obviously the future is digital, and I think a lot of these businesses, they definitely do a lot better and thrive if they could figure out this whole social media thing, or just have someone come and do it for them. Yeah, because like that's how I discover new places. Anyway, I think that's how most people discover things now. You just can't rely on foot traffic anymore, because there's no foot traffic. The people walking about Craigshill in the daytime, they're like the living dead. A lot of them, like they're not gonna come and spend money in your shop, unfortunately, because it's a really difficult place to live right now as well. It's like I said, I think it's like the bottom 20% for all of Scotland for like poverty and stuff. So hold on, actually, guys. Let me bring up those stats. Yeah, it's saying here, according to West Lothian Council regeneration reports, the following localities are amongst the most deprived 20% in Scotland. And here we have Deans, Carmondine, Knightsbridge, Craigshill, Deadridge, Ladywell, Armadale, Whitburn and Blackburn, Bathgate, Fauldhouse, Bridgend. They may as well just put all of West Lothian on this thing. Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. I don't think you realise, like, I wouldn't have known all this stuff unless I started doing what I do now. Do you know what I mean? And just talking to people. And also, like, there's tons of charities in West Lothian, which is great. But why are there so many charities? Because the government allocate charity funds to the most deprived areas. So that's why. Yeah, man, it's sad. I mean, it breaks my heart. I really hope that we can turn things around for the area. We need more jobs, guys. We need more work, more business, more stuff like that going on. What happened to Silicon Glen? Why don't we bring that back? There's a post Silicon Valley boom right now of AI. Why can't we get Silicon Glen back? Oh, I don't know, man. This makes me sad. Anyway, I'll be back shortly with part 2. Welcome back to the Joshy B podcast, episode the first. We're going to get right into it with the BAFTA news. So it was John Davidson, got up on the screen here. He basically yelled the N-word, right? While there were 2 black people on to give out an award, and it caused a whole bunch of controversy. But the thing is, he has Tourette's, right? His movie is about his life with Tourette's, and he has these involuntary tics where he can't help but yell out bad words and slurs and stuff like that. Anyone who's old enough as well, like, he's been on the telly in Scotland for forever. Like, I swear I saw clips of him when I was like a lot younger, like him on TV talking, so why is it being so controversial? Well, of course, some Americans in particular, they didn't seem to understand that or know. They just thought he yelled it. And I think I saw Jamie Foxx, like, what's he, like a singer or actor? He's on a Kanye song, I know. He was saying, like, nah, that's fake, no way. But obviously, yeah, like, we, especially if you're from Scotland, like, like, nah, he's been about for a minute. He really does have Tourette's. And I think the big takeaway from it is that, the award show, it was delayed by 2 hours. So it wasn't like a live stream or anything. There was a 2-hour delay. They had the choice to cut it out, and they didn't. So I guess the question is, why didn't they cut it out? I honestly don't know. Maybe like the BBC or whoever had it on TV, like they just wanted to, they basically wanted this, right? A bunch of people talking about it, more news for them, keep the relevancy of their award shows, which over the years have been waning in relevancy. I do know, I do believe someone yelled like "Free Palestine" and they chopped that out. So they're okay to chop that out, but not someone yelling the N word, I don't know. I will say, on a slightly funny note, I did think to myself, I was like, of course, if like a Scottish person gets in like the global news, it's going to be something like this. But jokes aside, I don't know, I've not seen his film, John Davidson. I can't say if it's any good or not. People are saying it's amazing, and obviously it's like a tragic, it's a tragic illness basically to have and live with, and he must be mortified. His whole team must be mortified. Honestly, shame on the BBC. Shame on whoever broadcasted this and didn't chop this out, because they've obviously went and embarrassed him, his team, taken away from the seriousness of his film, and just basically just sown a bunch of division for no reason. All this could have been avoided, but hey, I'm talking about it, so I guess they got what they wanted, presumably. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments or something. I have no idea. I mean, what would be the conspiratorial angle here? Like to leave this in? Like I don't know. Now here's the other kind of Scottish news recently is Emma Cassidy and her man's Joel Colby. Basically, someone leaked these private, intimate videos that they had onto Facebook, I think it was. Now, thankfully, I haven't seen them, but from what people have been saying, basically, it was, and some intimate. And I immediately, like when I got on tickers in the morning over here or something, I saw both of these stories. And a lot of the Emma Cassidy, Joel Coburn, people were really gloating and kind of laughing at them, thinking, oh, it's really embarrassing, and almost like preying on their downfall, even saying it like, oh, they set this up because they're big attention seekers. And, I've seen some of the reactions to it. I saw that Shawbag person, they rightfully pointed out that, it's quite despicable to share this stuff about a very private moment of these two people, especially other women sharing it. They pointed out seemed quite hypocritical. And I mean, no one, just because you post videos on socials or whatever, like they don't deserve to have their private life blown up like that. I'm wondering who posted this thing. Like my best bet would be someone who doesn't like one of them for either reason, or both of them for either reason, right? Probably some nutter who just wanted to upset them or hurt their feelings. I mean, can you imagine that? Like actually, not just like thinking about doing it, but actually going ahead and like dropping this dirt that you have on someone online for everyone to see, and obviously people just sharing it about, making it worse. But hey, everyone likes a bit of drama, so I'm not, I get why people are sharing it about and talking about it and all that stuff. And maybe it was, I don't know, I haven't seen the clips. Like maybe there was something comical about it, but Emma herself has came out and said that she really doesn't give a toss, and I'm not sure if that's just so she doesn't give the perpetrator the power that they want over them by basically, obviously that's why they've done it, right? Someone who's leaked it all to try and upset them, so they probably want to see Emma crying or something. She's not going to give them that. That's good. Haven't seen this Joe guy respond at all, and I mean, bottom line, I've never met or spoke to either of them. It's their target market isn't really me. Emma seems like a bit of a girl boss, kind of aspirational female for other females to look up. And the thing is, I've seen on one of her pages, she gets out her folder and she breaks down all of her analytics, the money that she's made that month and how she's made it and all this stuff. I think she's got her own social media agency as well. And it's like, what more can you really ask for someone? It's not like she's just bragging about her success or anything. She's breaking it down to help people, and that seems very good of her. And giving other people the tools to try and succeed, and people are just going to drag her for the amount of sad. But I know that Joel Kobe, I think he runs a restaurant as well in Falkirk or something. So I'll have to go up there and review it at some point. But yeah, just more of the same rubbish in Scotland. Just I'm not even going to call it rubbish, because I get it. Everyone engages in drama, and that's not it's just what people do. But Yeah, the people that are really dragging it and like, get like, when someone takes an L, not that this is even an L, it's just, I don't even know what to call it, but when something embarrassing happens for someone and then people they just jump on it just to gloat and stuff like that. It's just so sad. Just get a life, seriously. Just like, worry about yourself. And what bugs me is obviously I'm in Japan right now. You walk about here and it makes you feel like Scotland, you just realize how small Scotland is, right? Because there's there's 100 million-ish people in Japan and there's like 5 million-ish people in Scotland, 1/20th, right? Compared to say China, India, 1 billion Chinese, 1 billion in India, 5 million in Scotland. And there's still so much division in Scotland and it's socially accepted and publicly accepted to a level that I just think is whack. Like, please guys, like we shouldn't be at each other's throat. I get it, because it's a small place, a lot of egos collide and stuff, and there's a big feeling of lack, like the issues with finances I spoke about before. Like, there's not much opportunity, so there's a lot of lack, that feeling, and then that just causes you to like get at other people and stuff. I get it, but I don't know, guy. It just makes me sad. What else is there to say? Anyway, that's those parts covered. Now let's get to the global news. Let's get to the Winter Olympics and the Epstein files. Okay, part the third of the first Joshy B podcast episode. And we're going to talk about the Epstein list. But first, we're going to talk about the Winter Olympics. The four most interesting parts for me. So first, let's talk about, the ice queen, everyone's favorite, the it girl right now, which is, what's her name? Alyssa Liu. So she's this American Chinese girl. She's actually half American, half Chinese. Born of a single father who was at IVF. Like, he basically just found an egg donor to create this child. And she's been skiing from a very young age. She has this like super alt look with her hair. It's like this raccoon style hair, this piercing. And basically she's just been all over my tickers lately. All over the internet. You can't avoid her. I mean, this happens every Olympics, doesn't it? I remember, what was her name? Like Michaela Maroney or something. There's like this girl that did acrobatics a few years ago. Like, every time there's some it girl from the Olympics. And, the big story is that basically she quit. She wasn't sure if she was going to skate again. And then she came back for the Olympics and did it on her own terms, of her unique style, going against the grain and, all that stuff. And, her music choices are good. Her fashion is good. I can't deny it. I do feel like, obviously, it's just a bit, overrated. Like, okay, she has a piercing and she's skating. Like, cool. No, I mean, obviously she's a brilliant athlete and stuff, but I don't know. I don't really give a toss that much. I think for me, I'm more interested in the kind of her backstory, her father. I mean, her father seems like such a Chad, to be honest. It's like he fled China in the 90s or something, like a political refugee, fled to the States and as a lawyer, and then was like, I'm gonna have a child by myself and turn her into like an Olympic skating gold medalist, like, because also he had to like think this through, right? I think I swear it was quoted somewhere as saying like he saw her as like a business investment. He invested like 500K to $1 million in her like lessons and stuff, and yeah, just such an interesting guy. Like, I'd love to hear an interview with him. But yeah, okay, then the second one, the what's her name? Eileen Gu. And she's I think from the same area. Like, I swear down, it's the same story. She's like half American, half Chinese. And she's a Olympic skier, actually. And, similarly, she's like kind of a it girl right now. Edits of her all over my FYP on social media. And the interesting thing is, though, that she actually competes for China. So when she got to a certain age, China, and had to decide who to go with, she went with China to compete. And she's huge in China. She's a model as well. She's made so many millions from like her personal brand, not from winning skiing competitions, just from like being a model in China and stuff. And they all love her there. And yeah, it's very interesting. And then you have people in the States and that debate saying, oh, she's a traitor because she competes for China instead of us, even though she grew up in the States and that. And I guess it's I don't know why. You can't really, if someone's mixed race and they're half this race and half the other, I have no idea how they would decide that. Maybe it was a tactical thing. Sounds like it could have been because she's making all this like way more money than any American athlete. Um, or it was just a personal identity thing. I don't know, guys. But yeah, what do you guys think? How do you guys think that mixed race people choose their kind of lineage? I know in certain countries they don't really have a choice to. I mean, obviously I'm in Japan right now. I hear a lot. I keep seeing it on my FYP here because my FYP is, Japaneseified, and it's like you get these people that are like, oh, I'm half Japanese, or even like they're, oh, I'm full-blooded Japanese, but I grew up in the States, and like they don't accept me here. Not that it's funny. It's just like the levels of like racism here. Like you just wouldn't believe, like they just don't accept anyone unless you're like born and raised here and like full blooded. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's funny to me. I'm pretty lighthearted with that stuff. Obviously, I'm not really have to deal with any discrimination except for when I'm here. That's the time I have to deal with discrimination. Honestly, when I'm in this country. I have met some cool other foreigners here, though. There's a lot of Brazilians here and like South Americans for some reason. But the kicker is they don't even speak English, so like I still have to use Translate with them because they're speaking Spanish. Okay, now the final part of the Olympics bit is yeah. So there was a Norwegian biathlete, Sturla Holm Layer Reed. Butcher that, but he admitted on live TV that he had cheated on his girlfriend just after winning a bronze medal, calling it the biggest mistake after apologizing on air. So yeah, basically like it was just out of the blue. He was getting interviewed. He'd won a medal, and he just was like, "I need to apologize to my girlfriend. I'm sorry that I cheated on you." And like, I don't know. It just seemed, but apparently she didn't forgive him or something as well. I don't know how true that is, but it's like, was that a good idea or not? Like, logically it isn't, but I don't know, he's obviously like, he must be like a very noble man, like a very honorable man to like go admit that on TV, but overall I would say kind of, I would say that's more stupid than honorable. He could have talked to her about it after the fact. Talking about his dirty laundry in public like that seems, what was he thinking? Just seems really stupid on all accords, who knows, but yeah, kind of funny. Anyway, now I have to stop the laughing now, get a bit more serious. So the Epstein situation. Okay, so the Jeffrey Epstein situation, this has been going on for years at this point, but it just keeps getting more intense and juicier as these emails are leaked out. All right, everyone knows the situation. Quick summary, Epstein was just a big nonce that was also in finance, and he was connected to all these wealthy people. He was the guy that they would go to for tax dodging purposes. And there was also like a socialite, like a huge socialite for all these parties and stuff. He had his own island, and a lot of people went and visited, and he got done for nonsense, and then he supposedly unalived himself in jail. And now all of it's coming out, his entire email list and all this stuff. And the crazy part is, how does it link to the UK? Well, there was Prince Andrew was back and forth emailing him and basically doing all sorts of strange nonsense and just, disgusting stuff. And very embarrassing for the royal family, of course. It doesn't really help these... people already talked about this stuff, like, oh, the royal family are a bunch of inbred nonsense and all this stuff, and, yeah, also, yeah, his missus, actually, Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah, she's British, actually. Well, British Jewish, but yeah. So, I think she's in jail right now. But yeah, just interesting, Elon Musk's in there, and yeah, I mean, it's very fascinating. And, it's also, the most fascinating part for me is that it's been going on for so long, and now people are actually starting to venerate Epstein, look up to him in some way, portraying him as like this ultimate like Sigma badass who like just lived on his own terms and all this stuff. And I get some of it's supposed to be funny, obviously, but yeah, it goes without saying, being a nonsense stuff, just disgusting. Thing is, we don't know the entire truth, and like that's what bugs people as well, that we won't know. And they're redacting a lot of names when it comes out, and it seems like they're protecting certain people. Seems like everyone interacted with them. I don't know, guys. I mean, to be honest, I switched off from global politics a long time ago because I just saw the futility of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, why am I going to get myself so worked up about this stuff? Some people might say, oh, well, you're privileged to say that. Well, yeah, because I don't live in a country that's an active war zone right now. And none of this stuff has really affected me directly. So I do have the privilege of not getting involved in it. And, it's, that's why I talk about the support your local stuff, because, like, just get involved in some local politics maybe, or, like, something local where you can actually have an impact. Because you can't impact this stuff. And, if not Epstein, it'd just be someone else. Like, there's one big club and we're not in it, basically. All this elite stuff going on. So why even waste your time thinking about it? Obviously, these people, should be brought to justice and stuff. But, yeah, of course, some other points, yeah, if Epstein was just some random guy from Livy or something, he wouldn't have gotten protected so much. All these people in the emails, they wouldn't be getting protected. But yeah, I think we all know that by now. It's one rule for them, one rule for us, Equality, all that stuff, just a total myth. Clearly there's not. If you're high enough up, you can get away with a lot of things. Corruption's everywhere, Corruption's everywhere. I'm sure there's some in West Lothian as well. And, what really is there to say? All right, that's it. Thanks for listening, guys. Please let me know what you thought of this. I need your feedback. That's important. Drop a like, drop a review if you hear it on Spotify. And yeah, what you want to see next, let me know. Support your local. Peace out.